Ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited, highly anticipated conversation with a new guy who's been around a long, long time, the coach. And that's kind of like, that's all you need to say. The coach, Ryan Seidl from Clearwater, Florida. Coach, did I get the name right?
Very close.
Oh,
Seidl.
Yes, I got it. Oh, man. I don't have any rehearsal time. I'm off the top of the good. But
I love it.
Yeah, okay. So I want you to know that I know that everyone else is going to know. Calvary Christian High School, your men and women have been together for 50 plus years of making exciting soccer in the Clearwater area. Am I warm?
Warm. I not quite 50 years at Calvary. Clearwater Central Catholic, where I grew up and played.
Yeah,
that definitely.
But before you, there was a legend happening over there, like your dad and everything.
Well, that was at Clearwater Central Catholic, yes.
All right, that's what I want to say. Well, I know the 3 C's, right?
The 3 C's, yep.
All right, well, here it goes. Based upon the scholarship that I have, I hereby and forever put the 3 C's in the Wales Certified Hall of Affinity for just outstanding work on and off the pitch. You guys are legendary down there, man, and you carry on the tradition of being a top flight. Google says you're prominent. I call you top flight. Is that the whole story is that you're getting the best license, you're having the best club and high school meshing to say, if you want to play some soccer, if you want to be an all-around athlete, this is where you come. Be a Charger.
Yeah, there's a lot of very good soccer in this area, a lot of good soccer players. It's the hotbed, Florida, and especially in this Clearwater area, it's very competitive. I coach at the Chargers Soccer Club, which is the travel organization, which has, 5-year-old rec all the way through 18-year-old MLS Next program. And then at the high school level, I was a player at Clearwater Central Catholic, where my father coached as well and played and won their first state championship in 1981, and was helping him as an assistant for a handful of years. And then fortunately had the opportunity about 5 years ago to take the head coaching position at Calvary. And now we're rivals, Clearwater Central Catholic and Calvary Christian. They're right next door. It's a very healthy rivalry, and have been really excited about being able to build the Calvary soccer program and also stay involved, in the game, and have that opportunity to coach against my father as well before he retired. And at Calvary, we're participating in the High School Champions League for our 3rd straight year, so excited to be a part of it.
Oh, man, yeah. And I pity the poor people that are in and on around soccer, and they're not excited and enjoying the experience. I mean, come on, man. You're living the life, bro.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun here to help give to the youth and help build, soccer in this area. And like I said, there's just so many talented soccer players and so much talent here to work with. So it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, man. From the grassroots to the penthouse, you got the Rowdies number 2 squad, and
Yep.
and you dabble in the UPSL.
That's correct. With the Chargers, we have a UPSL team. The Rowdies is kind of our professional club in the immediate area, participates in the USL Championship. So it's a lot of different opportunities here and a lot of different levels of soccer. And it's looking forward to the World Cup this summer for sure.
Yeah, man. When you're around the president of the Rowdies and somebody says, "Hey, Ryan," the both of you turn around. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's this about the World Cup? Do you have some uh, items down in and around the area?
In terms of when you say items,
Okay.
you
Yeah. Venues, playing, practicing,
yeah,
training.
actually, yeah, it's there's not any games in the immediate area. You have to either go to Miami or Atlanta from a to drive or but there are some teams training in Florida. I think we have Portugal, Curacao, and Cape Verde is here in Tampa actually. So there's three clubs that have been training here in Florida, and then I think everyone's kind of breaking off and heading to their locations for matches starting tomorrow,
Yeah, man.
Thursday. Yep.
We're in a desert here in St. Louis. As far as the World Cup, and man, wow. You, and so you got some juice, man. It has to be a great vibe.
Oh, absolutely. We're ready for it. The country needs a World Cup here, and hopefully the players can perform. There's a lot of questions going into the summer with the players and the team, and hopefully the last couple of games with Germany and Senegal have been a little bit of a reflection of what's to come, a little bit more continuity, better performance. So we'll see if it can lead into the group stage games here coming up.
Yeah, man. Hey, did you come back from Germany recently
No,
or going
I'll be
to?
going there at the end of June.
Okay. Because I have you been over there before?
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, I've been told when I remember back in the '70s, they didn't really want me to leave. They said, "Man, you're a diamond in the rough. Please stay." But anyway, I, so the story comes out is that it is a different type of vibe, man. The look, the environment, this and that, and the places that those national teams are training at. Do you get that sense of vibe? And the last, do you, with the Chargers in your high school, do you try to develop that type of environment for your players and fans?
Yeah, it's hard to make a comparison to the European brand just because I haven't been over there to experience it. I'm looking forward to going to be doing my UEFA B coaching license in Germany and then have some time to stay and travel to England, Netherlands, and Belgium. But soccer has still a long way to go here in the country. I just, players in other countries, when they grow up, it's the physical, athletes try to develop, become soccer players. And here you have so many other sports that a lot of good athletes choose, and rightfully so, look to grow in. And soccer, needs more physical, strong athletes here in America to work also with the development of the technical side. And the environment has gotten better. I feel that there's more people that maybe weren't soccer fans and fans of other sports that are now soccer fans, or will sit down and watch the World Cup, or will sit down and check in on the U.S. national team or other professional, teams in the area. So the buzz has definitely picked up, but we got to keep the momentum going. I think it's not just what happens this summer, but what happens in the coming year or two, which is going to be very important, because I think, 4, 8, 12 years ago, a lot of people thought that we would be in a little bit of a stronger spot right now as a country from the soccer side. And I think we've taken steps, but now we need to build the momentum and keep it going through the World Cup this summer.
Right. And, that whole story is that we're not rearranging the seats on the Titanic. We're really starting to develop to say, how serious are you? Is this recreational, or are we into some the art and science of football?
Yep. Yeah. And that ultimately comes with results. You got to be able to compete and play and beat some of the best countries in the world.
Or at least them having the nerves, having some nerves playing you.
Yeah, exactly. Make it tough, which you saw a little bit last night. The USA Brazil women's game, I think, resulted with 8 red cards for the Brazilian 4 players and 4 coaches by the end of the game. So it was interesting to see that leading into the World Cup on the women's side in a what you call a friendly.
Yeah, no samba for those players tonight. No, stay up. Hey, how about that story of you having that Champions League and your 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 staff, all the community is and buzz to say, hey man, we got a chance here to really light this up.
Yeah, it's believe it or not, just a couple of years ago when I started at Calvary, we were not a winning program at the time. We had come off a losing season, and then we were more second year, kind of a 500 team, but we had a good enough season to get a berth into the Champions League as a wild card. And I knew it was a tall task because we were playing against some of the perennial powerhouses in this area. But I told the guys that this is not something you turn down. I mean, when you have an opportunity to go and play with the best, you want to give yourselves a chance to see where you're at. And we did that in the first year and had some struggles. And then the second year, which was last year again, into the Champions League. And funny that in both seasons we had winning records. We had really good seasons, district championships, got to the regional final in the past 2 years. But our losses that came during the season were in the Champions League games, and they were close games, but they were losses against teams like Mitchell, Osceola. You're talking about teams that are really strong, Wiregrass Ranch. These are the teams that Tampa Prep. I mean, these are the teams you want to play, and these are the teams that you get excited about. It's hard to get fired up for every game, when it's a long season. I think sometimes the monotony of just playing over and over can become repetitive, and when you go and play a Champions League game, you know that there's something at stake here. You have a chance to find yourselves into a semifinal and a chance to play at whether it's Al Lang Stadium or St. Leo University or someplace where you can say you're that high school program in the regular season that won the Champions League, and it's a different competition. And when you look at soccer now, there's different competitions that they have between the UEFA Champions League and the European Europa League, and there's different titles that you can get during a season, and it's nice to have more than just one winner at the end in the state championship. It's nice to have something to claim as yours as being a Champions League winner. So it's something we're looking forward to this upcoming season, participating again.
Well, Ryan, under full disclosure, how do you dig, man, all the pageantry and so forth, and the round ball that Select has, and not those square balls that those other people have?
Yeah, it's awesome. We break them out for training before Champions League games to make sure the guys know that we're playing with the Champions League ball to get used to it, and we make sure that we represent at a high level. We do the walkout and the music, and create the atmosphere that this is a big game. This is a game that is part of your regular season, but also has a winner at the end, and it's something that we track. We look at the groups, we look at the results, we track at where we are, and we want to give ourselves a chance all the way to that last group game to have a chance to get a result that we control to maybe get ourselves into the semifinals. So again, it's something that really is exciting for the players and creates a lot of buzz in the area as well, which is awesome.
Yeah, man. And as far as you have the impression that you're very highly educated and you have your pulse on all trends. How are you with the social media helping soccer players and teams develop over the all the social media outlets?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I get involved with it a little bit here and there, but the players have really driven it more and more. The players are the ones that are reposting things, that are putting things out. They're the ones that are really pushing, I think, the growth of the game now. Even though I still consider myself a fairly young coach, I do what I can with the school and the club to help put things out there, but then it comes on the players to go out and to share their story and share their experience. And I think that's what's helping soccer grow and continue to grow, and create the buzz in this area and across the country.
Well, I've never met you before, but I got to ask you, man, How's that Santiago doing?
From my understanding, I never coached him, but I did play against him. I coached against him both at the club level when he was played. I started the Charger UPSL program, and he played a couple games with Florida Premier with their UPSL team, and then of course I think we played him in a Champions League game. Would have been a couple seasons back when he was at Tampa Prep, and then went over to Germany and was a part of the club there that believe recently got promoted into the Bundesliga. So it's a great success story, and I think there's more to come with other players as well. So it's exciting.
Wow. Well, you got 10 more minutes with me?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Well, we got 3 doors, and you get
Okay.
to pick them. 1, 2, and 3. So, which one do you pick?
Let's go to door 3.
All right, then. It is. I've just recently heard about it, and it got me. Wow! I got goosebumps. And this is something. The UPSL.
Okay.
It's been around, but now it's grown. It's got the vibe. Can you give us a little insight on how it's helped your community?
Yeah. So the UPSL, I was at the Chargers my whole life, and back coming out of COVID, I was looking for a way to kind of reconnect our players that had left, coaches, get young guys involved, give younger players opportunities, and in the current club landscape, once you get to the 18, 19 age, you're done. That's the end of the club environment. And the UPSL at the time was this was only 5 years ago, but it was a much smaller league, and we had the Florida West Conference, and I reached out to the club and said, hey, I'd like to get the Chargers a UPSL team, and I gave them 3 reasons why. One was to provide an opportunity for players that had graduated the program to come back and play at a decent level. It's definitely more competitive than like your Sunday men's league, more organized, higher structure of competition. The second one was to give our own youth players opportunities to play up against men, players that could be of all different ages. And then the third was to get players involved with the Chargers, to get them back involved with the club, whether it be as coaches, whether it be as donors, whether it be as bringing their kids to play for the club. And they approved it, and we got involved. And we actually, in the Florida West Conference, we're the longest tenured club. It's only been 5 years, but it's 10 seasons. They play 2 seasons a year. So they play a fall season and a spring season. And we've been a part of the Premier Florida Division for 10 seasons now, 5 years. And really, it's been a good opportunity. The league now has grown to multiple conferences throughout the country. There's 200 plus teams. There's different levels. And it's a cost-effective way. It's a little bit different than the USL, which has a little bit of a higher, cost to barrier to get in. And UPSL has had to work through different things with creating standards of what should be expected for teams and clubs and facilities and referees. And, we've been able to kind of grow with them in the past 5 years here. But it's I kind of am involved now more from an admin side and just supporting the program. I about a year ago gave up the coaching side of it just with a lot of other things I have going on, and gave another coach an opportunity to come in and work with the program. But it's been great for the Chargers to have a program like the UPSL, and someone like that's local here. Like I think you may have talked to him or will, but Ethan Figener, who is our Calvary girls coach and came back to this area after doing some college coaching and kind of started a Suncoast League and then got into the UPSL. Essentially to see the path with the UPSL and where it may go. They still have some challenges to work through, but it's been a nice opportunity for a club like ours to have something like that for the players. And just recently, our Chargers had our last game, and we're a little bit thin on roster numbers, so I played for our team, which was my first appearance on the field as a player, and I got about 15 minutes there, and against me was at the Rangers, Caden Cashman, who just finished playing at Calvary. He was a senior and just graduated and is at playing with the Rangers, and he came on about a minute or two before I did off the bench. So we matched up for the last 15 minutes, and I actually played against him, and just kind of fun to be a part of something like that. So it's been very cool.
Oh, I can just visualize the grin from ear to ear on that one, man.
He got involved late in the game. He got involved with a goal of theirs late in the game, making a run forward and helping their team score, and I gave him a little bit of a high five coming back from the sideline in the last minute or two of the game. So it was all good fun. But
Oh yeah.
I prefer to be on the sideline coaching and not necessarily on the field. But I was, hey, anything to do to help your club
Amen.
late in the season.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And the so what's the next number you want?
one.
All right, that comes out. There was some talk in your bio about you going down and doing camps, soccer camps, down in El Salvador and Uganda.
Yes. Yep.
Now,
So
you got the interest of the whale, the curiosity. Come on, fill me in.
I'll talk about the El Salvador experiences, and this is through a group called Avoca. It's a Voice of Central America, and I'll try to keep it somewhat short here, but about 16, 17 years ago, there was a priest who was in Ireland, and he ended up getting reassigned or moved to El Salvador at a time where the country was overrun by the gangs, by the Civil War, by a lot of really dangerous things down there, and he was part of trying to help make peace and bring people together. And then part of the connection was that the priest reached out to a family member back in Ireland and said, "Hey, I want you to come here and run a camp. I want you to come and work with, do something for our peoples that's soccer related." And sure enough, he went down there with a small group of people, and they ran this camp. And 17 years later, going into the 17th year, the Avoca charity has become something that goes down on a yearly basis during the Easter week. And we work with the communities in Soyapango. I went for my first time in 2015, and I've been a total of 5 times now, and most recently 2 years ago. And we go down and we work with the coaches, and we do coaching education from the coaches from different communities, and then we spend the week with the kids and the players, and we run a camp, and then we kind of finish with a tournament at the end. And when I was there in 2015, a big part of it was a lot of these coaches, they live across the street, but they would never cross the street because of the gangs. And the only time they came together was during the camps. And we would go in during the time into these communities, and we would be surrounded by the gangs, and we would be welcomed in to their communities because they knew that we were there to help the kids. But it was a very eye-opening experience. And following I think it was maybe around 2020, 2021, El Salvador had a change of leadership, and they went in and did a big clearing out. They went a big taking a lot of the gang members away, incarcerating them, kind of cleaning up the streets, and the country has gone from being very, very dangerous to a much more safe country, a much more welcomed country, something where coaches, players, they'll actually interact with each other. They'll actually play against each other. And it's kind of cool that we were a part of that, the charity itself and the group of people that have gone down. I took a couple guys that I used to coach at the Chargers, Brent Cole and Logan Schultz, went for back in 2015-16 time. And then more recently for 2023 and 2024, I took my current Calvary assistant coach and one of our UPSL players, Jesus Montez, with me, and he went down there. And it's just been really rewarding to build these relationships and to see the impact of something that for us can be so small, going down and doing a week of camps, but what that does for the entire community in El Salvador. So that's the long story short of what's a tremendous, tremendous project and organization with the Avoca.
Wow. I hope I'm not talking out of school, but there's a Christian brother who's blessed, and I think he martyred Brother Miller. Are you familiar?
They have quite a few. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, the famous martyr from El Salvador, Saint Oscar Romero, he was the archbishop. He was assassinated in 1980.
Yes.
That was a big event down there. But there's a lot of different, like I said, the priest that I had been connected with, Father Pedro, was actually Irish, and it's so before he passed, and he's just so cherished down there by all the communities. But to be able to talk to him and I've never heard an Irish priest that is so fluent in Spanish. I mean, he has the Irish accent like nothing else, but he speaks fluent Spanish as quick as could be, and it's really, I mean, for being there for so long, of course, he became to learn the language, but it's a very cool country that holds definitely a special place in my heart.
Yeah, man, it sounds it. Thank you for sharing, and
Yeah.
that leads in to Monsignor Divine.
Yes, Monsignor Divine was one of again, he was at the time when I was at Clearwater Central Catholic, one of the priests from St. Brendan's here locally that was very involved with the soccer organization. And he was the one that had the connection to Father Pedro and the group in Ireland that kind of kicked this off for me. And he's been a big supporter of me going down there. And just want to send a shout out to Monsignor Divine. He recently has moved back to Ireland to finish out his life, and he's in his 90s now, and is back in Sligo where he started. So, wow. A very special person to me as well.
Yeah, and St. Louis has got a rich tradition of ethnic priests who, with the long cassocks, they would roll it up and play the soccer, man. Yeah. You got a special grade if you were a goal scorer and an assist, and you got a shutout or something,
Yeah.
So, but have you found, lastly closing it up, have you found that the universal game of the beautiful game can really just make the individual, the community, everything is beautiful with the beautiful game?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially here in Clearwater. I mean, there's so much diversity here, and you bring people together from all different backgrounds. And when they're on the field, there's no statuses. Everyone's competing to get better, to be on the field, to be the best player they can be, to represent the team they play for. And then there's so many different stories that come with them, and you learn them along the way. You learn them by being around these people and these families and the kids, and helping them and seeing what soccer gives to them. And for some of them, it gives them everything. Their chance to get out of the house and to go on the field is what gives them joy. So to be able to help as a coach support that and be involved with that brings me joy. And I think that's part of what soccer does. And across the world, we've seen it for many years, and I hope it continues to build here in the United States.
Whoa, man, I'm telling you, I went on a journey, bro. You got me.
I thought this was a 10-minute podcast. How are we going to squeeze this all in?
Yeah, well, that's too. I had to get you together, had to vet you on Wales Certified, then we're going to get you over to the starting 11.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So we got 11 minutes or close to 11 minutes.
Okay. I'll have to shorten my stories for that.
Yeah, well, those just the 5 items. It's all you. Very few consonants and vowels from the Wales of all this. So the deal comes out is that Wales Certified, we have a tradition, custom, to say, hey, Ryan, whatever you want to say, to who you ever want to say it to, for as long as you want to say it for.
Wow, that's a lot. I'll keep it quick to a couple people. I'll Monsignor Divine, who I just spoke about recently, and his support for me as an athlete, but also into the charitable side and going to El Salvador and connecting with the community and faith. And then, of course, Coach Hart. Can't leave this call without mentioning Coach Hart. And I remember the Marauder soccer camp days back when I was 5-6 years old, and how excited I was to be a part of it. And as soon as I could be a gopher to help carry the water and pick up the cones, and then working my way up to a coach and being able to play for him at Clearwater Central Catholic, and the soccer legend that he is, and his advocation for the game, and continues to do it today. And then my father, Frank, who was always my coach when I was growing up for a long time, was a coach of the Chargers, did the licensing. I mean, I kind of grew into soccer. I can't remember a time where I wasn't a part of the game. And I think that's because I grew up in it. I don't think he ever forced it on me, but it was just something that I was passionate about and I enjoyed. And to this day, we still, as he's retired now, we had a chance to coach against each other when he was at Clearwater Central Catholic and I was at Calvary. And he still comes out and supports the games, here locally as he's kind of retired and moved on. And those are three people that, wouldn't be able to share the stories I did today without those people. So want to leave it at that.
Here. And, man, it's just off the charts. I got goosebumps, and I'll be downloading and uploading and sending this out to you. And
appreciate it.
And tell all the 3Cs community that they are forever in the Wales Certified Hall of Affinity.
Will do. Will do.
All right, Ryan. The top of the day to you. The best to the best. And,
thanks, Kevin.
All right. And this has been Wales Certified, and you too can be Wales Certified if you try.